were a little low on gas this morning and stopped for a quick refill, you may have noticed the major increase in gas prices. And in the next 30 minutes, I'll be right back with some more on the best days and times to head to the B&B to avoid that long line. I'm Tyonna Baxter reporting live on the south side of Indianapolis, where a small plane has just crashed just behind me on the railroad tracks next to the University of Indianapolis. If you're an Indigo rider, I would expect some changes in your normal bus route, as some new and exciting changes are set to come here soon. I'm right in front of the gas station where the incident actually took place. Bystanders stating they saw two men go in, point a gun at the clerk, and flee the scene. That is absolutely correct. As you see behind me, the Indianapolis Police Department. IMPD Chief Randall Taylor, joined by Mayor Hogsett, just announced the department's plan for the police shortage. A sixth officer was fired Friday after the internal police investigation showed he violated multiple police policies in the violent arrest of Tyree Nichols, 29-year-old black male who was beaten by officers in Memphis, Tennessee last month. Some really cool news for all those Marvel fans out there. Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Scarlet Witch team up with a new hero in battle against an evil villain. Here's Rick Domagali with more on the new additions to the game. In other news, a bus driver says he's thankful for his life after a bridge in Pittsburgh collapsed from underneath him. Samantha Lane went out and got some more. Thank you, Tim. I know all you football fans out there are counting down the days until Super Bowl Sunday.
I know, I am Tyonna.
Authorities have stated the death of Lauren Fields is still actively under investigation, and new information will be released as the case unfolds. A tragic and heartbreaking incident left Southside Indianapolis residents and police officials wondering where things went wrong. Around 4 p.m. Tuesday evening, Indianapolis Police Department responded to reports of a small plane crash on Weaver Avenue along the railroad tracks. The pilot and only passenger, later identified as 20-year-old Shade Pennington, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Federal investigators said the plane crashed about 13 minutes after takeoff, and no evidence of mechanical malfunctions were found, making the cause of this accident even more hard to pinpoint. As a result of the crash, a train was forced to stop on the tracks, and all other trains in the area were unable to travel until that investigation was completed. Those with any new information or videos of the incident should contact IMPD by calling their non-emergency line. For UNDTV, Tyonna Baxter.
Malcolm Graham, Kelsey Wilson, and Kobe Clopton. They're all victims of gun violence.
They call it a gun violence epidemic, and after the recent loss of 20-year-old student athlete Kobe Clopton to gun violence, protesters at the University of Indianapolis say they simply won't get tired of fighting to end it.
Kobe was more than a friend. He was a brother to me.
It's a hard reality for Jesse Bingham and many other UIndy students to accept. Their classmate, friend, and teammate Kobe Clopton will no longer be around.
This just gives me hope. Gives me hope for being able to walk around, not being scared, not being afraid if I'm going to make it home or not.
Indianapolis will see a record high number in violent crimes for the third year in a row, though this case hitting UIndy students way too close for comfort.
Guns don't shoot themselves. You know what I mean? And that's I know everybody hears that phrase, but that's a real meaning to me.
Bringing awareness to the rise in gun violence is something Jesse and his teammates take pride in.
We just felt like it would mean more coming from the youth and students and athletes in our own community. Kind of brought us to action when it kind of hit closer to home.
It is said this will become an annual protest to keep Kobe's name alive and continue fighting for change, one step at a time. When it rains, it pours. And that's exactly what UIndy residents were reminded of this past Thursday and Friday evening. Heavy wind and showers starting late Thursday night and lasting throughout the duration of Friday, leaving the usual packed dining hall vacant. Students that attempted to grab some food bright and early Friday morning were greeted at the usual open entrance with closed doors and a sign. That sign stating that the dining hall would be closed until further notice due to flooding. Students were then asked to grab their breakfast instead at the other local food place on campus named Streets. and if they were wanting to take it home with them, to swipe their ID at the dining hall for a to-go box. The university sent out a campus-wide email explaining being better prepared for hazardous weather is something they hope to continue building on, and that maintenance is actively working to resolve issues and ensure operations can resume normally as soon as possible. Reporting for UND TV, Tyonna Baxter.